Mother, look, my shadow is hopping and playing with me. But how is my shadow being formed at night? It is because the light from the moon is falling on you. Mommy, has anyone gone to the moon? How is the surface of the moon? Yes, astronauts have visited the moon. There are craters on the moon. Does anybody live there? No, my dear. Nobody can live on the moon as there is no air and water. You understood? Hi, my dear children. All are surprised that what this it's going on, is it? It's our new chapter, Light and Shadow. All are ready to learn it. Okay, so we'll move directly to the chapter. So in class 4, do you remember that the sun is a star and it has its own heat and light? The sun is the main source of light on the earth. Do you remember? The light of the sun enables us to see. The heat and light of the sun is essential for life on the earth. So when light from any source falls on an object, some of it reflects back from the surface and is scattered in all directions. So when the reflected light reaches our eyes, we can see the object. So based on that, there are different kinds of objects. Okay. So when light falls on objects, three things can happen. First thing, light passes through the object completely. Second thing, only a part of the light passes the and rest gets reflected or absorbed. Third thing, light does not pass through the object. So based on this, objects can be grouped into three kinds. What are they? Transparent objects, translucent objects, opaque objects. Okay. Now I'll tell you what is this transparent objects. Objects through which light can pass through totally are called transparent objects. Clear, children? Example, clear glass and clean water are examples of transparent objects. Now you understood? Next is translucent objects. Objects through which light can pass through partially are called translucent objects. Okay? Plastic, frosted glass and butter paper are examples of translucent objects. Butter paper you are familiar with. On this Christmas days you have been preparing cakes and all. So all are familiar with butter paper. Am I right? So that is an example for the translucent objects. Now the next one is opaque objects. Objects through which light does not pass through at all are called opaque objects. Okay, example very simple. Trees and candles are examples of opaque objects. Okay, that means it does not allow the light to pass through. Clear now, children? Now let's learn about rectilinear propagation of light. Okay, so for that I will tell you an activity. What you have to do is you have to take a straight tube or soft pipe. Hold it in front of the lighted candle. Look through the pipe. You will be able to see the flame of the candle. Now next, bend the pipe at an angle and now try to see the flame through it. You will not be able to see. This proves that light travels in a straight line. You got it, my dear children? That activity is in your textbook, page number 126. You have to go through that. Now we'll come to the main topic, rectilinear propagation of light. From this we understood that light travels in a straight line. So this property of light is called rectilinear propagation of light. Okay? Got it, children? Now let's know about the formation of shadows. See in that picture, a shadow is formed when light after striking an object passes through the object partially or does not pass at all. Thus, transparent objects do not form shadows, while translucent objects form faint shadows. Opaque objects form dark shadows. Got it, my dear children? This is how the formation of shadow. Now, for the formation of a shadow, three things are required: a source of light, an object that obstructs the path of light, a screen on which the shadow can be formed. Now, let's learn the characteristics of shadows. A shadow is formed on that side of the object which is away from the light source. Second thing, the size of the shadow changes with the change in direction and position of light. See, just look at this picture. You must have observed that the size of your shadow changes during the day. Once you try this activity, during the daytime, your shadow is longer in the morning and evening when the rays of the sun are slanting and cover a larger distance. So the size of the shadow keeps decreasing and becomes the shortest at noontime when the sun is overhead and the rays of the sun have to cover the shortest distance. So you can note that the direction of a shadow changes with the position of the sun. So my dear children, you just try one day that morning time you stand out and see that how your shadow will be. Then check out with the afternoon and also with the evening. So this will be a good activity for you. So here we are going to learn about how the moon reflects the sun's light. Okay. So here you can see that moon is a heavenly body that is opaque. Opaque means the light does not pass through. It has no light of its own. It shines because it reflects the sun's light. As the moon moves around the earth, the light of the sun falls on different portions of the moon. Look at the picture. So we are able to see only the part of the moon on which the light of the sun falls. Am I right? Yes. So these are called different phases of the moon. PHASES, different phases of the moon. Clear, children? You have already learned that no life exists on the moon. Why? Because there is no air or water on the moon. The surface of the moon is uneven with plains and mountains. So deep pits called craters. Can you see that? Craters are present on the surface of the moon. So the moon has a gravity, but it is 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. The moon has a gravity, but it is 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. Is it clear? So have you understood what is that craters? Craters means deep pits on the moon. Okay, that is what the craters. CRATERS, craters. Clear now, children? Okay, so you can see this is what the craters on the moon. Okay, now let's move to the tides. See, have you seen this? So here the sun affects our lives in many ways. Have you ever wondered in what ways does the moon affect our lives? The most important influence of the moon is seen in the occurrence of ocean tides. Have you seen this? Ocean tides? Now let's know about how the formation of low and high tides. Okay, and what the influence of the moon in the tides. Okay, so you have to know about it. As you know, about 3/4 of the earth is covered by water. Tides are the periodic rise and fall in ocean water. Got it, my dear children? So as the moon revolves around the earth, its gravity acts on the earth, pulling both the solid parts of the earth and also its water. But the pull on the water is greater than on the solid earth. Water on the side of the earth facing the moon is pulled towards the moon. So there will be a high tide on this side of the earth. At the same time, the earth itself is also pulled slightly towards the moon. This causes a high tide on the side of the earth which is away from the moon. Clear? Now, at these points, the water of the ocean is lowered because the water has moved to the regions of high tide. So places in these regions have low tide. Do you understand? Where there is high tide, when that moves, then there it will be the low tide. Got it? I'll repeat once again. In short, high and low tides are caused by the moon. So the moon's gravitational pull generates something called the tidal force. So the tidal force causes Earth and its water to bulge out on the side closest to the moon and the side farthest from the moon. So these bulges of water are high tides. Now it is clear? Okay. So as the earth rotates, each place will have high and low tides twice in 24 hours. It has been found that a high tide is experienced every 12 hours and 24 minutes. Okay, is that make you clear? Children, have you understood from the picture? See, look at this picture. Have you noticed that? How the high tide and the low tide is focused here? Okay. So as the earth itself is pulled slightly towards the moon, this causes a high tide on the side of the earth which is away from the moon. Okay. So I believe that you understood, and this is how the formation of low and high tides. So children, you have to study this very carefully. Okay, so from this picture again I am keep on repeating the picture to make you understand that where there is the high tide and how it is expressing there, and how the low tide. Okay, so from this picture it is clear to you how the low tide and the high tide is focused. Okay, my dear children. So that's about for today's class, and next class we will move with the eclipses of the moon and the sun. So here we have a recap of what we have learned. Okay, so what all things we have learned? When light falls on objects, three things can happen. Based on this, objects can be grouped into three kinds: transparent objects, translucent objects, opaque objects. Transparent objects, objects through which light can pass through totally, are called transparent objects. Example, clear glass and clean water. Translucent objects means objects through which light can pass through partially. Okay. Example, plastic, frosted glass and butter paper. Opaque objects means objects through which light does not pass through at all. These are called opaque objects. Example, trees, candles, wood, etc. Then we learnt about that rectilinear propagation of light. Light travels in a straight line, so that property of light is called rectilinear propagation of light. Then we learnt about how the formation of shadows. A shadow is formed when light, after striking an object, passes through the object partially or does not pass at all. Okay. Then we learned what are the three things required for the formation of a shadow. A source light, an object that obstructs the path of light, a screen on which the shadow can be formed. Then we learnt about the characteristics of shadows. That means morning and evening the shadow will be longer, and at noon it will be short. Then we learned the phases of the moon. Okay. That means we are able to see the part of the moon on which the light of the sun falls, and that is called the phases of the moon. Then we learnt about the craters. Deep pits on the moon are called craters. Then we learned about the tides. That in the tides, ocean tides also we learned, and also how the formation of low and high tides. So clear, my children? So that's all for today. Have a nice day, my dear children.